Welcome back to the channel, everyone. For those of you who don't know us, my name is Jackie.
I go by T.
And we are the Justice Family. Today, we're going to go over why we still believe it's beneficial for being a landlord despite all of the things that are going on with us. And we're going to drizzle in some positive tenant experiences that we had over the years.
I'm going to start with this. Generational wealth. Biggest piece. Because a lot of times in certain cultures, there's nothing passed down. And when you build that generational wealth, next generation comes up, they have that property which is free and cleared, no mortgage on it. They don't have to worry about paying no mortgage. Only thing you really have to worry about is paying taxes, which is not going to be that much money, especially compared with having a mortgage. Like, I wish there was generational wealth. Like, can you imagine if we had properties passed down to us?
Yeah, we would be set up from the beginning.
Especially look at what we've done, like Airbnb, for example.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a huge thing right there, that generational wealth. And that's part of why it's like everybody's all sell, sell, sell. You can't just get rid of it. You can't just think about self. It's about the next generation. You have kids, you have family members, things like that, for example. So that's the one of the major pieces that I have to say. What you got?
I think for us, it's the overall experience of being a landlord. It is so many different things that you tap into when you become a landlord, such as property management, the way you get paid, how to budget how you get paid, how do you interact with your tenants, how do you interact with vendors that are working on your property. All of those skills are invaluable, and you don't get to learn that every single day. And that is the part about landlording that we really truly love. Like, case in point, what's going on right now. For those of you who are new to the channel, our tenant that was in one of our properties destroyed our home. And we were stuck with, do we get contractors or do we do the work ourselves? And we decided to do the work ourselves. And with that, we are learning so much. I cannot even tell you how much we're learning. Learning how to just lay flooring. We learned how to paint. We learned about AC work. We learned about electrical work. But most importantly, we learned how to not get caught in situations that will be unfavorable to us, such as vendors trying to overprice things. So definitely that vendor management aspect, it has been a complete game changer. So that's definitely one of the benefits in our opinion.
Before I go into something next, I just want to add to that with the pricing. Give an example. So for to lay down the LVP, they wanted $12,000. We literally went to the store and found some for 88 cents a square feet. Do the math. We didn't want the 88 cents a square feet, so we're like, it was nice, but we like this better because of the color and matches better. But it was literally only costed us $2,000 compared to paying $12,000 and simply just rip it up and lay it down. Those are things that you learn about, like Jack was saying about pricing, and then the skills also that she was saying about learning to do those things yourself as a homeowner. And next, what I'm going to talk about is I want to say building equity, because you got to look at it from this point of view. Somebody else is in your house paying down your mortgage. Like, you're paying the bank, but guess what? Somebody's in there paying down your mortgage at the same time while you're making a profit. So you're getting a two deal right there. They're paying down your mortgage. So if you do want to sell it, now there's a heavier profit on top of the profit that you're making monthly from the tenant. Or if you want to decide to, it's paid down to this, now I want to take out a cash out, refinance and pull some cash out of this. Now that's more money there that you didn't even pay out with your money. Somebody else paid it down. So those are the ways that you gotta look at it. You building that equity. The market's constantly changing. And when it flips and boom, it's worth all this money, you're like, everybody wants to buy. What are you going to do? So that equity that is building, you can't beat it.
Yeah, you really can't. And since you're talking about equity and profitability, we just have to state the obvious. The income that we receive from the rentals. Y'all, like, don't take what is happening to us right now as a reason to not want to get into it. But we can tell you that our properties are very, very profitable. And when I say very profitable, I mean, off that house that tenant destroyed, how much was the profit a month?
The profit, we were making, let's say, $4,700, and the mortgage was $2,100. I mean, that's off of one place. So when we talked about another one of our places, which was the townhome, and somebody's like, "Oh, well, that's not much because you're only making $200." Well, guess what? What does that really matter when we're making all this money off the other place, on top of making money off an Airbnb that's paid off in full?
Yeah.
So you got to think about all those things. And then, like I said earlier, somebody else is in there paying it off. They
Yeah.
paying it down for you and paying it off. And that leads back to that generation of wealth. Somebody to pay this off for me by being in there and created the generation of wealth for us, all because we decided to take that leap and go ahead and be homeowners.
And although we're not tax professionals or anything like that. We're our own tax professionals. So we're going to keep it at that. But there are so many tax benefits I'm telling you right now, there are so many tax benefits that you can claim when you have rentals, and especially when you have Airbnb, you could definitely claim so much. And the good thing about it, the Airbnb wasn't our property. We did rental arbitrage and still was able to capitalize on the tax benefits. That's because that's just how it's set up. So when it comes to the money stating the obvious, it's there. And that's why, back to T's point, that's why we're going to keep going. Because that would be crazy of us to just give up everything when we know that home, especially once the rental comes, that could probably rent for $5,000 a month.
Because of the market, James.
Because of the market. And I know people that might think that we're crazy, but no, that's literally what it can rent for. And that is not on Airbnb.
Because too, they paying $4,000 for one bedroom. Very close nearby in Tampa.
Yep. So,
One bedroom, four grand. So.
Exactly. And even with that increase, because we did mention in another video that all of our properties went up. So now it went from 21 to 28. Y'all, do the math on that. 28, and you can get potentially, let's just say on the low end, we get $4,000. Like, come on.
And then another thing too, on another note, with owning a home, guys, like, you got to think about that community, the sense of community now. Because now you're in a neighborhood and most of these people are homeowners, and it's just a better feeling. Everybody's more connected with each other. It's just, it's kind of hard to describe. It's not like you're seeing this person come in and out all the time. You eventually, you're going to get to know your neighbor.
Yep.
because they're there. You see them, they see you every day. It just that sense of community that just builds that you just can't beat. You
Yep.
can't beat it. I mean, you're not going around moving all the time. You ain't got to worry about, oh man, let me pack my bags up and move. No, you worried about, all right, let me continue to build in my property. Let me do upgrades in my property.
Yep.
Things that you just can't really do as a renter.
Yep. And I think the key here that is really not talked about, we enjoy being landlords. We really do. Because if anyone has been following our journey, we have been in the most difficult, stressful situations when it came to when we were tenants. And a long time ago, T and I, we would go to places where at the time we could not afford. But we would always say, one of these days, we will afford a house in this neighborhood. We will be able to do that. And when we were finally able to do that, we said that we were going to give back. Now, we will admit that sometimes when you give back to people, it blows up in your face. But we truly do not believe that is the case always. That just happened to be that ungrateful person that just wanted to be a terrible human being. We do believe in giving back, just like some people, they believe in giving to the poor, they believe in donating. We believe in giving back. And one of the ways that we can give back is through our properties and giving a person, especially a young family looking for a home to live in. We definitely like those type of situations because
So,
we used to be there.
two things. One, Jack brought up about Airbnb. Make sure you go check out our video about it because we talked about several ways to make money with your property. So that's a big thing also. It's more than one way to make money off your property.
Mm-hmm.
Two, just mentioned about enjoying it and this tenant issue causing, causing a bad view, but the thing about it, we've also had a lot of positive experiences.
Yes.
One of my favorites was the lady that had a lot of dogs.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cause
The
like
show
I said
dogs.
before, I like animals.
Mm-hmm.
She had a lot of dogs, but you couldn't even tell a single dog was there. I said I don't know what she used. I wish I knew because it wasn't a single scratch on the floor. What kind of floors was that?
That
It
was
wasn't.
OVP.
That was OVP.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't a single scratch on the floor. Not a single thing of dog fur.
It
Nothing
didn't
was
even
there.
smell like a dog.
No dog smell. Not even in the washer and dryer. Not a single thing. And it was like left to perfection.
And she had 4 dogs, right?
I think she had. I think it was four.
It was four
I think it was
dogs.
four. Whatever she did was just, and she was just so nice. She
Yeah,
was
she was
just
a
so
really nice
nice. And when
person.
she left, she said, I might end up coming back here. And we're like, we'll definitely, accept you if you ever come back here. So things like that. What do you got anyone that you got that stick out?
Yeah, we always had positive experience, but one thing in particular, you remember the older couple that came? That was all that came. They came from so far. I think they came from like Mississippi. They were coming to the Watermelon Festival.
Mm-hmm.
And they stayed there for a while and they booked the place like a year in advance just to come there. And they were really nice. We were really accommodating to them. And those are the type of stories and the things that we love. We love interacting with people and making their day. I know if I wasn't in technology, I would probably be in the hospitality industry because I think customer service is such a big thing. So,
But what about the lease we had with the guy that was the electrician?
That now see that what I
Mm-hmm. See,
man
things
that
come.
see
Mm-hmm.
yep, oh my goodness, this was an awesome tenant, like above and beyond. Like this guy rewired our whole home, and we said, dude, how much is this gonna cost? Like you need to bill us. Oh no. I just appreciated that you guys let me and my guys stay here because it was a whole construction crew. He couldn't get anybody to rent because they would come in and out all the time. So he wanted a master lease agreement, and we were like, okay, we'll do it. A corp to corp situation. If you want to know what that's like, just let us know and we'll make a video about that. But I'm telling you, man, this guy was on point. And when I tell y'all, he left that house in condition, immaculate condition, and rewired the whole home and upgraded the internet that was already super fast. So this person was, oh my goodness, he was awesome. That brings back memories.
And then
Yeah.
on top of that, we told him we were going to adjust the price because at the
Mm-hmm.
time the washer and dryer, we didn't know what was going on, but it was brand new, so we like it's under warranty. He's like, "Can I just check it out?" We like, "Okay, sure." This dude wouldn't even fix that. We're
Fix.
rewiring the whole
Oh my
thing.
goodness. He said, "Do not call. Who was it? Lowe's out." Because he knows how to, he knows a little something about washing and dryers. So he even fixed that. And I'm just like, that was a really good experience. So those are the type of things that we talk about, and the type of situations where we can really impact people's lives. Because at the end of the day, people have to live somewhere. They have to. And your landlord will make or break this situation. It will make your life positive or completely miserable. And we don't want to be the latter. We want people who rent from us, we want them to be at least happy that, you know what, my landlord takes care of us. That's what we do it for.
But even with the bad experience that we had with that one particular tenant, the thing about it, when she got to that place, she came to the house, she broke down crying because she was so happy. It's like, oh my God, I gotta get away from my environment I'm in. Like she really wanted to get out of that the project there that she was in and everything. She wanted change, but the problem came really, I believe, with the lack of support. And that's why we kept giving her opportunity and had a lot of conversations with her that we didn't show that were trying to just uplift her to help her out. We kept trying to help her out and get her to do better, but it was just still those negative people that she kept associating with and just kept pulling her back. And she ended up just doing the wrong thing and obviously did our house wrong and everything like that. Sometimes that negative energy can just if there's not enough positive energy, it's tough.
Yeah.
So,
But I
but
wouldn't take it as, although it was a negative experience, it was definitely a learning experience.
exactly,
We learned something. We learned how the Section 8 process worked. We learned how to maneuver now with individuals, especially people that say they want change and they're given an opportunity. It's either they take the opportunity or they don't. And I know that's probably kind of crazy, and there'll probably be someone in the comments saying, "Well, I mean, if they show it, it's really not like that. It's really not like that." And we just don't want to be that person that says, "You know what? Mm-mm, mm-mm, mm-mm. We're not doing it." We don't want to be that person. But I can tell you now, we definitely learned how to move forward. In this situation, it's not going to happen again. At least it will definitely be preventable.
Another thing too is customizations, because you can't just fully customize a place that you're renting. I mean, you get to do so much when you are a homeowner. I mean, you go shopping, like it's exciting when you're like going to Lowe's and you just see this, this microwave, this oven, whatever items you're looking at. You're like, wow, look at this. Let's get this in our house. This would look
Mm-hmm.
nice. Oh wow, you know what? Let's change the color of the cabinets. Let's paint it this color. Oh, let's add a deck. Let's do this. Oh, let's go out and change our yard. Make it like this. You have so many things that you can do. Let's get rid of this carpet and put down this LVP. This looks real
Mm-hmm.
nice. It's so many things that you can do,
And
and
that.
just keep building and building and building. I remember talking to somebody. He was like, "Man, you know what I do in my house?" He said, "I just move my furniture around all the time." He said, "Every couple months, I will reshift my furniture so that way it looks different. So that way it looks like I'm in a new house again."
Mm-hmm.
He said, "I just reshift and organize furniture." And I mean, I was like, "That's a bright idea. You can't
Yeah.
beat that." I noticed when we move stuff around, I'm always moving stuff around,
Mm-hmm.
but I never thought about it that way, and that's probably why I ended up doing it, because it's like, whoa, this looks different. This looks nice.
Mm-hmm.
But those are things that you can kind of do to help out also.
Yeah. And to T's point, we love to give all of our tenants an experience of their life. I know that there is a common, what do they say, the landlord special. We really don't believe in the landlord special
No,
at
the house
what
could
it
have been up
is.
like that if we did the landlord
Exactly. It could have
special.
been up, but we take pride in everything we do, down to every appliance that every single tenant gets. And as you know, most of our homes are furnished. They come fully furnished. They have the option to tell us, "No, I don't want the furniture." Okay. But they do come fully furnished as well, because our clientele, most of the time, they don't have furniture. Like, they're coming from smaller units to a massive house. So we give that to them so they will have that opportunity. And I don't know if that's just because of our military background. And that's how it was whenever we would move. We would always have that loaner furniture. If you know, you know. So that we always had that concept, and it stuck with us as landlords. But we always give our tenants the top of the line, the best products, and everything like that. Now, some people might think we're crazy for doing that, but we want to appeal to a certain type of person that will appreciate things like that.
I think overall, the best way to sum it up, I would say, is you got to look at it as really generational wealth. So you got to look at it as a long term investment. That's what I keep honing on, because too many people think short term. Oh
Mm-hmm.
man, it's down. You got to just do sell now. No, it's a long term investment. Generational wealth. It's getting paid down once it's up and running. If it temporarily goes down, it's getting paid down by somebody else. Once again, once you got it up, somebody's paying it down, whether it's Airbnb, whether it's nurse finders, whatever the case may be.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody else is paying it down. Even if you make it a storage unit or have it for dogs, somebody's paying that property down.
Mm-hmm.
Long term gain. And once those years goes by, now whoever you pass it to, like I said, they got that property now, and they're gonna be happy. And you should be happy too, because you've done that good deed for somebody like that. Like I said, we
Yep.
didn't get that done for us, unfortunately. So we passing that down, because those are things that we should do as people.
Yeah, you should set your next generation and your prosperity up for success. And most importantly, our children are seeing how we're maneuvering. So they're going to be very, very familiar with this process. Our older son, he's just fully immersed into the whole fixing home buying experience, all of it. He loves it. So we know at least when he takes over the property, he'll know how to change some carpets, lay some hardwood, and do a lot of different things and manage the books.
Because too, this would people be like, oh, why don't you just buy it cash? We ain't walking around with $700,000-$800,000 cash.
Mm-mm.
We ain't got $800,000 to just go buy a house like that. So that's why you do mortgages, and it is profitable.
Yes, it
It is
is.
profitable. Like I said, with that property, $4,700, and this is off renting compared to a mortgage that's $2,100. It is profitable. And then some people Airbnb theirs in in a similar area, for example, and I know they're making over $10,000.
Yeah.
I mean, if that ain't profitable
I,
with mortgage, I don't know what to tell you.
we
Because sometimes people don't even make $100 off it, or only make $150 off it.
mm-hmm.
So,
But to your point, still driving the fact, even if you're just breaking even, someone else is paying that.
exactly.
Someone else is paying that. And long term, you use your real estate once it's paid off in your years that you need it most. We're still in our money making years. This is our prime. We're still going to go out here and make money. It's not going to be just from our rental income. So we're not going to be just depending on that. Anyways.
Yeah. And realistically, if it wasn't for the profits from that house, we wouldn't be in a position we in right now.
Yeah, we wouldn't be able to pay for the damages.
That's
That's just reality. We wouldn't have savings like we have if it wasn't for all of that. That, the job, everything. So is definitely great benefit when it comes to being a landlord. And we just wanted to tell you all why we're deciding to stay in it for the long run.
Yeah. And then, like Jack said, you make others happy and you make yourself happy
Mm-hmm.
by doing it. So, other than that, anything else we got to add for this one?
Nope. And until next time, everyone, see ya.
And subscribe.
And make sure you comment down below.
Something positive.
Please.
Peace out.
Peace out.